We all want a ton of changes going into the bye week, but realistically, I don't know how much we can actually expect.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. It's a Charlie Tuesday. That means we're joined by the message board legend, Charlie 5, also known as Kyle Rush. He's the man over at thebarnauburn.com. You also can check out his show, the Top Button Podcast. I'm a little surprised at some of the quarterback conversation moving forward. I'll explain exactly what I mean by that later in the show, as well as can potential changes that we discuss, like, will it be enough? But realistically, like, Kyle, we all want a ton of changes. Some people are calling for Hugh Freeze's job. Some people are saying bench Jackson Arnold, blow up the offensive line, play calling, whatever it might be. But the amount of changes that will realistically be made in this off week, I think, are smaller than we all would like it to be. I don't think Hugh Freeze is going to get let go, and I'm hesitant. I don't think Jackson Arnold will be benched, and so I guess the way I want to start with this is, yes, there's a lot of changes that want to happen. I don't know if we see them happen during this bye week.
Yeah, I mean, what are the options on the table? I mean, so it would be, let's say, okay, we've got to change the offensive line. Okay, you got, I think for the most part, you have a bunch of guys playing pretty decent football. Really, your big question mark, I would think, would be Xavier Chaplin. So maybe you see a change there. Does that make you that much better of a football team? I don't know. Or do you just try to figure out a better way to communicate? It feels like the biggest changes to me are going to be organizational, that could actually make an impact. When I'm talking about crafting a game plan, communication, and working as a unit versus it seems like everybody's kind of working their own thing and it doesn't really come together correctly.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can change something organizationally almost halfway through the season. I have trouble
without something being severely neglected. Like, does that make sense? Like, to me, sure. the way that you change it is Hugh needs to, if Hugh's going to be the play caller, Hugh needs to be putting the game plan together. And if Hugh's putting the game plan together, he's not going to be looking over in special teams meetings. He's not going to be over doing the things that he needs to be doing elsewhere. Like, it's going to take, you're going to have to severely neglect something for that to actually be the case. And he's actually kind of boxed himself in to being the only play caller because there's really not anybody you can turn to other than Kent Austin that has any experience really calling plays at all. So, like, you're right. We want a bunch of changes, but when you really walk through all of those different changes that could happen, it doesn't really make a ton of sense. I thought you made a really good point too on our live show the other night when you talked about subbing quarterbacks. Okay, so let's say you swap out a quarterback. Do you just go full sail, swap to Ashton, and then you're running the exact same offense that you've been running? Or when you sub in a quarterback, do you go to more of a basic, a little bit more easy to, execute offense?
Yeah, rely on the running game. Use the running backs. Use a quarterback that can run the football well, and then you hope that sets up some easier passes to your receivers. Yeah.
But then to that, okay, why wouldn't you just do that with Jackson? You know what I mean? Like, let's say you put in Ashton in there and it actually works. Well, it's like, well, why didn't you just do that with Jackson, who can kind of do all the things?
Yeah, I think Jackson's a better he's a better version of Ashton Daniels, right? That's why he's a starter.
Exactly. So it's when you really walk out, I think a lot of times emotionally we just want to say change this, change that. But when you really walk out what that looks like, there's really not much you can do at this point in time.
Well, and I want to be clear, like, you have to change some things.
Yeah.
You have to change some things, or if you lose to Georgia, you are going to get eaten alive more than you already are.
The same way. If you lose to Georgia the same exact way, I think you're going to be eaten alive.
Now, it could be like, hey, I need to do what I've been saying I'm going to do, and prioritize the running game. That might be that's going to go a long way where it's like, oh, it doesn't need to be 2nd and 20 every set of downs.
Yeah.
Like we can move the ball on first down consistently, even if it's just 2 or 3 yards with handing the football off or running Jackson Arnold. So I 100% think there can be changes that are made. I don't know if they're going to all be the changes that people want. I think if Chaplin starts, I wouldn't be shocked. I expect him to. I don't expect this coaching staff to make changes based off of this. But I do think offensive line is a position group where you have depth and experience where you can make changes and it makes sense.
Yeah, and all of the practices this week are closed, by the way. There's no media availability. So
good. Y'all blow it up. Work on yourselves.
I don't know if that's normal for a bye week, but some are suggesting maybe that does mean you're experimenting with some different personnel groupings, which is what you should be doing on a bye week. So I'm with you. I do think something has to change. And I think what we're saying when we say that is results have to change. How you actually do that, it doesn't feel like there's a ton of options. You just got to figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah, because the drastic stuff that we're talking about, I don't think is going to happen. Could you see a quarterback change at some point this season? Yes. Don't think you'll see it now.
Remember that in the year one?
Yeah.
When it was not the most pretty offense ever. When we were playing Georgia and we played Alabama, that was not a pretty offense. But for whatever reason, it worked. It gave you a chance to win those games. And right now, what you're seeing is the complete opposite. So, like, it's on the table. Like that type of offense is on the table. It's like, do you have enough ability to swallow your pride and just say, let's go put the ugliest damn thing we can on the field that'll work. It'll work. It'll be serviceable.
You have to have a quarterback that is willing to throw the football.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. But if it's more predetermined stuff and it's being set up off of the run and whatnot like that, does that help him be able to make a decision and pull the trigger?
Here's my concern with Jackson is, like, you look at the tape, he's staring at an open guy.
Yeah,
he knows that's it. That's the play. That's the read. I know I need to throw it, and he's not.
Yeah, even on that very first.
I wonder if you dumb it down or make it simpler. He's so timid. He's so scared. I assume he's scared to turn the ball over.
Yeah, that's something that is a very fatal flaw that I don't know that you can overcome. I really don't. I hope you can. I just don't know that can be something that can be coached out of somebody. I mean, even on the second play of the game, it was not it was a tight window, okay? It was a tight window. It's the rollout pass, and you had, I think it was Malcolm running like a stop or like a comeback. You had two options over there, and Malcolm's the ball was just so late. The ball was so late coming out on a rollout. It's like that he was waiting for him to come out of his break, and like that's not a wait to come out of your break route. Like if you're rolling out there, you got to anticipate that because the window's tight. There was another play we rolled it out.
Then you got to throw it at his feet, right? Because the window is just shrunk so far.
There was we
short hopped to like 2 yards. Yeah.
We ran a very similar play later in the game where it was a rollout pass and Malcolm's dragging, and he was open for a moment in time. He was open, but again, it's so late that it almost becomes an interception. Everything is late. Everything is late. And that is something how do you fix that? Like, is there any way you can fix it?
We think back to like fall camp when the clip that went somewhat viral where Freeze is like throwing it. There's like, you got to get the ball out. That was him not getting
the ball out.
Right. And so it's not like he hasn't been told. Like, he knows he's late, right? Like, there's no way he doesn't know that he's behind on all these plays.
I know. That's what blows It's like it's the yips. It really is. It's like
it
the
feels
yips.
like, sadly. Yeah.
I don't know how you get out of it.
I don't either. All right. Will these changes be enough? And there's a few more I want to throw out at you. That's next, right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Quo. Quo is one of those tools that makes a huge difference for business owners. Quo is formerly Open Phone. It's the same great business phone system you've heard me talk about before, just with a new name. And here's why it matters. Kyle, when somebody calls and you don't answer, are you making more money or less money?
It's always going to be less. You got to answer the phone.
You're losing money.
Yep.
You can't have that if you're running a business. No way. Quo is the #1 business phone system that streamlines customer communications and works right through an app on your phone or computer. So see why over 90,000 businesses trust Quo, formerly Open Phone. Get started for free and get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/lockedoncollege. That is QUO.com/lockedoncollege. And if you got pre-existing numbers with another service, Quo will port them over at no extra charge. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Kia Autosport of Columbus. You love Kia.
I love them.
I love Kia. Kia Sorrentos are the best. My family bought one. You talk about a growing family. Like, yeah, let's put them in a Kia Sorrento. Versatile, efficient. And look, our friends at Kia Autosport of Columbus, they're right off of Whittlesey Boulevard in Columbus, Georgia. If you're in the Auburn-Opelika area, very short drive. If you're in the Atlanta area, very short drive. Go see them. They're going to give you the best customer service. And you know this. Any new Kia, free tires for life. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And also, if you just mentioned, hey, I heard you on Locked On Auburn, you get like $500 off. So do that. Do that right now. Kia Autosport, Columbus.com. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. I want to scoot back to the offensive line conversation because I think there's a few options. One, I think you have to try Too Tall at left tackle. I also think you have to try Dylan Wade at left tackle. And then I think there's a few options at guard. DeAndre Carter comes to mind. Heck, I wouldn't mind seeing Kel Ellis get a shot at guard with the little bit that we saw of him against Oklahoma. I also think it would make sense to put Mason Murphy at one of the guard spots, to put Too Tall at right tackle, even though Mason Murphy's actually been pretty solid. I don't know if I want to really touch that, but you have options.
Yeah.
And to act like you don't have options just because you paid him so much in NIL money, I think would be silly. I also think it sends a message culturally when you allow that to keep happening with one of your like quote unquote best preseason players continuing to jump off sides, continuing to hold, continuing to fail in pass protection, and you keep putting him on the field. I think that sends the wrong message, and I think they need to adjust that quickly.
The only pushback I would even have is, could there be some sort of communication breakdown? Because it seems like left tackle has been an issue. Like there seems to be communication issues at left tackle in this system. Is there something you can do to, whether it be changing the way you do your snap count or whatever, that could maybe, is he thinking too much because whatever is happening isn't making sense versus reacting? Because it's just hard to fathom to me that he can be a bad offensive, like he's worse. It's hard for me to fathom that he came from Virginia Tech to Auburn and got worse. But to your point, not a lot of the others seem to have the communication issues that he has. And he's your big money guy. So I understand what you're saying. Sometimes I wonder, are we doing all we need to be doing on the offensive line to put them in successful situations? There was a play on, I was on Auburn's message board where on three's message board and looking at Cole Pinkston breaking down a play and looking to where we slid protection to the wrong side, like away from pressure, and made it to where it was much harder. Like those are the kind of things it's all a mess. And I don't know if simply just plugging in a new player solves some of that.
Yeah.
But you got to try.
You got to try. And I don't know if you like roll it out and start somebody new, but during this week, like you said, when practices are closed, like try different alignments. Let Chaplin feel it.
Yeah.
Let him feel like you're not guaranteed this. You're not playing good enough. And because of that, we're going to explore other options, see if somebody can do this better than you.
I would like to see, I think Cale Ellis at center and letting Lou play guard could be something that would be maybe fun to watch, because Lou's really, really good. I think Lou's really, really good. And I don't really want to take him off but Cale may only be able to do, center right now because he's so young, and that's what he's been, training to do. Regardless, there's talent there. You got to find the right five.
I think the easiest adjustment would be for Hugh to say, hey, what we're doing isn't working. And I don't know if it's my offense doesn't work anymore, or if I'm not teaching it well, or I'm trying to be an offensive coordinator, but I'm not willing to like do the meetings and the things that an offensive coordinator requires right now. And so I've got to change some of that. Would you be comfortable with Ken Austin calling plays?
I honestly think that's probably the best scenario. And I know people
I agree with you.
People are going to laugh at that, and people are going to roll their eyes. I just think about that 2-minute. Think about the 2-minute drills, the last 2 games. It just there's just so much to being a head coach, man, that you have to pay attention to. You're trying to come up with a drive to go win the game and manage the clock and manage your timeouts and manage personnel all at the same time. Like, I wonder if Kent is the one that's Kent and Derek are putting together the offense, and they're coming up with a scheme to attack the defense. Like, what would it look like if they actually called the plays? If Kent actually called those plays, he's called plays before. Would you see less of a disconnect? I don't know, but that I would honestly like to maybe even see that. I would like to see that change.
I would like to see that as well. I think it's very unlikely that happens, but I think that would go a long way with the fan base that you're destroying, like that you're just like really putting through it right now, where it's like, oh, okay, like we've seen his stubbornness on the field with not wanting to adjust. This is big. This is a big opportunity, and let's just see what happens. We've heard for years how great Ken Austin is, and like, let's see it. Because like everyone I talk to loves Ken Austin and talk about how brilliant he is. I would love to see it.
Here's something too. I think if somehow you do that and it works, like it works well to where you can maybe limp to 7 or 8 wins, and you can come after the season say we've reevaluated the way we're doing offense, and maybe I'm not going with Kent, but I've discovered that it's just I
got to hire an offensive coordinator.
I'm much more efficient as a CEO than I am trying to juggle all these balls and call the plays. I think it would go a long way with what you're talking about with the fan base.
Yeah.
Am I crazy on that?
Nope, I don't think you are at all. I think the fan base wants to see something different, because you've tried the same thing now for, I guess, going on year 3, and it's just not. Year 1 and year 2 was different. The offensive coordinator situation was different, but still, like the core of it, there was still drama on all of it. So
sure,
yeah, I would love to see some sort of lack of stubbornness or almost humility when it comes to the offense, because it's not working. It's
the
not
CEO
working.
Stuff he's good at too.
He's a good recruiter. I think he's good at hiring when he has the right focus on it.
They've built that off the field staff into like an actual organization versus just having dudes with random titles. Like, it's a really good, it's good stuff, man. Like they're able to bring in the players and put them, get you the talent that you need. Like it's just so many balls.
The offensive game plan doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
Yep. There's something about the quarterback situation potentially moving forward that I've been a little surprised by, Kyle. I'd like to jump into that in just a moment right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, you can bet $5. So that first $5 bet hits, Kyle, $300 in bonus bets to use throughout the app. There is not a line yet for Auburn, Georgia. How many points would you need for you to bet on Auburn? Plus what?
14.5. I think I'd take Auburn.
Think it'll be, but it won't be that high.
It won't be that high, but that's what I would think. Two scores. I would be comfortable taking. I would be comfortable taking 14 points.
Yeah, I think it'll be single digits. I think it'll be plus like 9.5 or something. But we'll see. We'll see. What are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Alumni Hall. You love Alumni Hall. I love Alumni Hall. It's where we get everything over at Alumni Hall. And they got 3 great physical locations in Auburn, Opelika, and Huntsville. I've been asked several times since the start of the season, hey, coming into town, where do I need to buy Auburn gear? I'm like, Alumni Hall. Let's don't overthink this. They have everything in one spot.
Yep. Love it.
There you go. Awesome.
Dynamite.
AlumniHall.com. Give them some love. Thank you so much for making Locked on Auburn your first listen every single day. There's an element of the potential quarterback conversation that I've been a little surprised by. I'm not surprised that people are calling for Jackson Arnold's job. Not surprised at that at all. That's the nature of sports, specifically college football, and really the Auburn fan base. We love doing that. And I get it. The arguments are there. I'm not pushing back on it. Where I'm surprised at is more people want to see Ashton Daniels than Deuce Knight. And I'm a little surprised by that.
I can understand that. And I wonder, though, if it's...
Help me get there, because I disagree with this. So help me get there.
Which way? What do you disagree with? You want to see Deuce, not Ashton?
I would rather see Deuce, and I've got a few reasons why. One of which, my biggest concern right now is player retention. That is my biggest concern moving forward when you talk about the future of the program. And I think if you play Deuce, it helps Deuce stay here. You're able to say, hey, you're our guy. Like, we're not putting you in the best situation right now, but hey, like, let's go out there. The other thing is, like, I think the receivers would benefit from Deuce. They've been excited about Deuce Knight coming here since he committed. And so I think that could be something. If you're worried about losing guys in the offseason, let their future quarterback throw to them if they don't, have any trust in this offense. It's clear that they were frustrated at the end of the game. We'll kind of see what happens from that. Another element of this is it seems like they want to redshirt Ashton Daniels. And so, like, playing him, or I know you get 4 games, but what's the plan there? You're going to play him for 4 games and then go back to Jackson? Or are you going to go to Deuce then? Like, that doesn't make sense. So I'm just a little surprised that how many people are saying, well, let's pull Jackson and put Ashton Daniels in instead of Deuce Knight. I'm just a little surprised by it.
Well, Deuce got a chance against Ball State, and it was pretty rough. So, like, what are your goals moving forward? Like, do you think there's no chance Auburn can win any of these games left on their schedule? It's a disaster. You might as well just go full sell.
Give me a win number.
Again, it's all depends on.
I think Auburn can win 9. No.
I think Auburn can win 7 games. I think Auburn could get to 7 games, and I think I don't know that Deuce can get to 7 games. I don't know that Deuce can get to 7 wins. Based off of what little we saw against Ball State, it honestly looked worse than Jackson. Now, that's a very small sample size, and I'll say this.
Throwing the backups, Bryce Kane dropped like 2 passes.
Last week, Ashton moved from taking third-team snaps to taking second-team snaps last week.
Yeah.
So I think Deuce is just not ready. That's just my opinion. Now,
let me ask you this: would you rather go 7-5? Nope. I'm going to use your numbers. Would you rather go 7-5 with Jackson / Ashton? I don't care who. Mm-hmm. And you risk losing more guys in the portal, or would you rather go 6-6? This isn't a great question because I think it all falls apart if you go 6-6 regardless. But would you rather potentially lose one more game with Deuce, but you keep more of your roster moving forward?
I don't think playing deuce is going to keep anybody.
You don't think it influences anything?
I don't think it's going to influence anything.
Does it influence deuce?
It may influence deuce. Here's
but
another
outside
thing,
of that, you don't think it does.
Here's another thing that I think with the way the portal is today, there's nobody you can't lose. You got to go try to win the game. Like you got to figure out ways to win the game. There's nobody you can't lose. You can go find a Mario Craver. You can go find a Conception Reception. You can go find that if you need to. You can always find somebody in the player. It'll suck. It'll sting. You spent a lot of equity from effort equity, money equity in a lot of these guys. You got to go win, man. You got to win, and you can't call plays to appease people. You can't call an
you
offense.
Think that's happening?
I think there's definitely an element to that. 100%. It's got to be. You can't do anything to appease anyone. You got to win football games, and if people leave, you can go find others. It's that simple.
You're right.
It's that simple, in my opinion.
Nope. I think that was helpful. I don't know if I fully agree, but I'm definitely closer on that now, for sure. Yeah. For sure. How can people check out everything you've got going on?
Yeah, go to thebarnauburn.com, sign up today, get in on the message board action. A lot of great conversations, and then you get the access to jump in the live stream on game days as well. And you've seen a lot of different characters each week. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of those guys, all those guys are members at the barn. So sign up today.
Please like the video. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked On Auburn.